What's up, guys? Today we have a very special video for you. We're going to be going over how you can never drop a pass as a wide receiver. So we're not just going to be talking about regular catching tips and drills that you can do. We're going to be talking about the tough catches, like a jump ball, a catch in traffic, a catch while you're getting hit, a low pass, a diving catch. All the catches that you guys probably struggle with, we're going to go over today. So I hope this video helps you guys out. But also, fellas, if you'd like to train with us, we are coming out to 15 different states this offseason for 2-day long QB and wide receiver camps. So check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out. We're coming out to San Francisco, California, Miami, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada. Then we'll be heading out to Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Houston, Texas. Then we'll be coming out to Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Buffalo, New York. Then we'll be coming out to Atlanta, Georgia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, and Los Angeles, California. So check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you there. Let's get started with this video. All right, guys, so the first type of catch that I would like to talk about today is going to be a jump ball catch. So anytime that you're pushing downfield and that ball is thrown up like a 50-50 ball, maybe you're in the red zone, you got to jump over the top of somebody and catch something. How do you make that catch consistently? So let's play this clip here from Amari Cooper. This is kind of like a jump ball, 50-50 ball right down the sideline. He makes a hell of a catch and is able to put this ball away and maintain and get 2 feet down. So now, first things first, anytime you're going up for a 50-50 ball with a guy is you have to go up strong. I think that's something that is more of like a mindset thing rather than like a physical trait. I think when going up strong, you just got to have that mindset that like that's your football and nobody else is going to do anything about it when you go up and make that play. You have to go up with a strong grip, and that's why working on your grip strength, working on your hand strength is super important as a wide receiver. I think that a lot of wide receivers neglect working on grip strength. Like they think that, oh, well, I'm going to get better at catching the ball by repetitions, working with my quarterback, doing different tennis ball, hand-eye coordination drills, and all that's true, and all that will make you a better pass catcher. But for these situations where you almost essentially have to rip the ball away from a DB, you have to have a strong grip, strong forearms, and that's why it's so important to work those exercises. So what are some of those exercises? I mean, like, fingertip push-ups where you just do push-ups on your fingertips. Farmer's carry where you're holding too heavy like dumbbells or weighted plates, maybe kettlebells, and you're just walking. Anything that is going to make your grip stronger will help you with this type of catch. Now, mechanically, I think when you secure the ball, obviously it comes down to the same stuff. Like this video is going to be mainly for the tougher catches, not the routine catches, right? But even on the routine catches, some things that you have to focus on, obviously, is catching the ball in the webbing of your hand, not letting it bounce off your palms, looking it all the way in with your eyes, taking a photo of the ball with your eyes, aka a trigger phrase. All those things apply to this catch mechanically. Now, the thing about a jump ball specifically that you can do and that you can teach is on the way down, you have to be violent to the tuck. I am talking as quickly as possible. You secure the ball, you are ripping the ball violently to the tuck. Because DBs are taught, especially in the red zone, especially when they're facing you and you go up for a jump ball, to play the ball on the way down. Don't even go up for it. Just play the ball on the way down. Because wide receivers love to go up and catch this jump ball pass and like hold it away from themselves, like try to rip it away from a DB. Let's put this thing violently to the tuck. Now, something that could help you, especially if you're in the red zone on a jump ball catch, is if you're able to, you want to catch, you want to rip it violently to the tuck, and you want to try to turn your body so you put your body between the defender and the ball. That's for certain situations, usually in the red zone, but going violently to the tuck and making sure you go up strong are two very, very easy ways to make sure you're consistent with a jump ball pass. Like, guys, these types of catches are what college coaches look for on film. They want guys that can make these types of plays. So these are things that you cannot neglect at the wide receiver position. So how to make a jump ball catch. Let's go up strong, violently to the tuck, and put your body between you and the defender. Okay, so now, this next catch we're going to be talking about is a catch in traffic. What do you do when you're running over the middle? You got a DB who's right on your hip, maybe grabbing onto your arms, grabbing into your hip, giving you some pressure, and maybe you got a linebacker over the top too, and you're worried about taking a shot. So what do you want to do? So let's watch this clip here from A.J. Brown, one of the best catchers in traffic of the football. And honestly, like, it helps, obviously, being like big as hell is what AJ Brown is like. And that obviously helps when you're in traffic. Being a big body guy, it allows you to get more of those like possession type catches. But there's a technique to it that any wide receiver can use. So when you're coming over the middle and you have a guy who's right on your hip, you don't want to show your hands early. That's something that I learned the hard way when being new to the wide receiver position, because I switched from quarterback to wide receiver. And when you're running over the middle, middle and you were showing your hands early, like trying to reach out to the ball, and you have a DB right on your hip, he's going to play those hands. He knows exactly where that ball is going to be, so he knows exactly where to shoot his hands and make a play on the ball. So what you want to do is you want to try to be late with your hands. You see how A.J. Brown is not showing those hands and reaching out. He is late. He's not letting that thing bounce off of his chest plate. He's not letting that thing hit him right in the stomach, but he's still late with his hands. He's catching it with his hands. He has a strong grip. Again, in this situation as well, fellas, having a strong grip is highly, highly beneficial because you're going to have a DB grabbing at your arms, hitting your arms, in some cases pulling your arms. So being strong with the catch, aka having a strong grip, is highly beneficial, but we got to make sure that we are late. Don't let him know where that ball is any sooner than it needs to be, okay? Now, same thing when you're catching in traffic as a jump ball. When you catch it, let's rip that thing violently to the tuck. Let's put that thing away. I actually don't like how A.J. Brown is holding this thing right here, because if this DB gets a good pop and a good hit on the top of the ball, I don't care how strong your grip is. If you hit that ball at the correct spot, that ball is going to be coming out. So you got to make sure, fellas, that as soon as you secure that thing in traffic, let's put that thing away. We don't want that DB to get any unnecessary PBUs. We catch it late, we secure it, let's put that thing away violently to the tuck. He does do that. I just think it could happen a little bit sooner. So catching in traffic, fellas, this is a great trait that a lot of wide receivers can have. If your quarterback is confident in you over the middle and he throws you that ball, we have to come down with it because that's just more opportunities for us to get more receptions from him. Okay, so now, next example we're going to be talking about here, this is a route from Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's going to be running a dig route, and this ball is going to be thrown low. So how would you catch a low pass, a pass that is below your waist, almost going at your ankles, your knees? We get a ton of questions about this type of catch, fellas, so that's why we wanted to address it. So let's play this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So he comes off the ball, takes an inside release on this dig, does a great job fighting to get skinny, but ball is thrown low and kind of behind him a little bit, but he's still able to secure the catch. So let's talk about why. So this is, to some of you, this may seem like kind of basic day one advice, but a lot of wide receivers struggle with this, especially wide receivers who are new to the position. But when that ball is thrown below your waist, you see how he catches this thing and he flips his hands. So he has his thumbs facing up and his pinkies connected. That is what you want to do when the ball is below your waist. So I think of it when we are catching like your hands are on a clock, right? Anything above 9 and 3 o'clock, you want to have your hands in that like quote unquote diamond, where your index finger is connected and your thumb is connected. Anything below 3 and 9 o'clock, I say to flip and keep your pinkies connected. Obviously, there are some awkward ones that you could probably get away with, having an awkward hand placement. But rule of thumb, that's what I would say. Because when you flip your hands like this, it's easy for you to receive the ball. A lot of times when you have low passes, wide receivers will keep their hands in that like diamond shape, and they will almost push the ball down. Like they push it away from themselves because it's impossible to receive the ball and like kind of let that thing get into the webbing of your hands or get into your grip if you're pushing it away with that diamond shape. So flipping those hands is a great way to secure that catch. I think on the way down too, if you have to make this like kind of like diving catch, just make sure that the first part that hits the ground is going to be your body, right? You want to almost like roll with the catch. Like let's say, for example, he had to reach out and dive for this one and he flips his hands. Don't let your hands and your elbows make contact with the ground first. Very easy way to have the ball fall out. Try to turn yourself, land with your shoulder or your hip first. There's a way to properly fall like that. I recommend doing it, like you do it on a bed at your house. Just work on that like catch and roll with those low diving passes. But make sure we are flipping my hands when we have that low catch. We want to receive the ball. Some of you, that might be day one basic advice, but I know some of you probably got a lot of value out of that because you struggle with those low passes. And guys, like we can't use the excuse that like, oh, the quarterback didn't throw the greatest ball in the world. Like if it hits your hands, you have to challenge yourself to the point it's like it's got to be a catch. It has to be a catch every single time that ball makes contact with your hands or is in your vicinity. And if you're that type of receiver, you will get more targets. I 100% guarantee it. I played quarterback, guys. I understand this. Like, if I got a receiver who's fast as hell, but he ain't going to catch the ball, I could care less. Like, yeah, he could take the top off of defense, but if he's catching 1 out of every 2 throws, it's 50%. Not throwing him the ball. I'm going to throw the ball to the guy who's tighter coverage maybe, but I know he's going to catch it. I need people to rely on at the quarterback position, and making catches like this is how you're reliable. Okay, so now, next catch we're going to be going over is a catch that's behind a wide receiver. So what do you do if that ball's thrown behind you and you got a DB who is right on your hip? Let's talk about it. So Keenan Allen's running this out route. DB's on his hip. He breaks. Ball's thrown a little bit behind him, but he's able to secure this catch. So let's talk about how. So a lot of times, I've heard receiver coaches teach this. I've taught this like a little while ago, like I would say maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Like when that ball is thrown behind, what you want to do is you want to turn with the catch so you don't have to swing it back around. Now, I think there are times where that maybe can work, but usually as a wide receiver, when you are running a route, like an out route, like an in route, maybe a slant route, and you are running over the middle, usually what do you have trailing closely behind you? A DB. So if you catch this ball and you start to turn this way, right? You're going to be turning right into the defender, and he's going to have a chance to play your hands and knock the ball out. So remember, when we are in traffic, we always want to secure the ball after the catch. We want to be late with my hands, but we want to secure the ball because DBs are taught to play that ball on the way down, right? So when we turn with this ball and it's thrown behind me, a lot of receiver coaches say don't turn the opposite way because it's going to slow you down and you're going to be swinging the ball way outside your body frame. And if you get hit, that ball could pop out. Not if you are violent to the tuck with the ball. So fellas, when that ball is thrown behind you, if you have to reach behind you and like really stop your momentum, it's okay if you go back in this direction. Guys, and again, too, if you don't have anybody trailing your back hip, maybe it's like a zone coverage look, then it's completely fine to turn with the ball. It's probably actually safer if you have a safety driving on the ball downhill, but just know for this situation, guy right on your hip, please do not turn towards him. That is an easy play for the DB. We catch this thing, we're violent to the tuck. You see how quickly he puts that ball away because he knows that DB is trying to make a play on the way down as he turns upfield, whatever it is. So guys, you could turn back if that ball's thrown behind. You could turn with the momentum of the route. Just make sure we put it away, okay? So let's play this thing full speed one more time. So that's how you would catch a pass that is thrown behind you. Don't turn towards the defender, rip away, and secure the pass.